Hunger is a cruel teacher. It gnaws at you quietly at first, then screams until every bone feels hollow. For 17-year-old Jamal, hunger had been his shadow for as long as he could remember. He wasn't a bad kid, nor was his family lazy. His mother worked long hours as a cleaner in downtown offices, often coming home with swollen feet and tired eyes. His father had passed away when Jamal was only 7, leaving behind a pair of worn-out work boots and a promise to always take care of his family. That promise, now, sat heavy on Jamal's shoulders. He tried to help by doing odd jobs, mowing lawns, washing cars, even running errands for neighbors, but still, there were days when food was a luxury, not a guarantee. 3 days had passed since Jamal last had a proper meal. He'd been saving every penny he could, skipping snacks at school and walking instead of paying for the bus, just so he could finally sit down to one hot meal. He imagined it over and over: fried chicken with rice, maybe a cold soda, something warm that filled more than just his stomach, it would fill his spirit. When the day came, Jamal's pockets carried exactly what he needed. At the corner of the street sat Mahmoudi's Diner, a small place known for its home-cooked portions and welcoming smiles. Jamal walked in slowly, stomach growling, eyes darting to the steaming plates leaving the kitchen. He ordered his meal, handed over his hard-earned cash, and sat down with anticipation trembling in his hands. That was when he saw them. An elderly couple entered, both looking weary yet gentle, like they had walked many miles. The man's coat was patched at the elbows, and the woman leaned on his arm for balance. They smiled kindly as they ordered, but when the waiter returned with the bill, the old man patted his pockets, searching. The woman's face fell, her voice hushed with embarrassment. "We must have left the wallet at home, a broken bar." The diner grew quiet. Some customers shook their heads, others went back to their meals. No one offered help. The waiter looked impatient. The couple whispered apologies, promising they would pay later, but the doubt on the waiter's face made it clear he didn't believe them. Jamal felt his chest tighten. He looked at his plate, untouched, steaming with the food he had been waiting 3 long days to eat. His stomach begged him not to move. But his heart whispered louder. Slowly, he stood and walked over. His hands trembled as he placed his plate before the couple. "Please," he said softly, "you can have this." The couple's eyes widened, filled with tears. "But, son, this is yours. You look hungry yourself." Jamal forced a smile, though his voice cracked. "I can wait. You need it more." The woman touched his hand, whispering, "God bless you." The man cleared his throat, too choked to speak. Jamal sat back down, stomach twisting in both hunger and quiet pride. That night, he went to bed with nothing but water, yet he felt strangely full. The next morning, a knock rattled the door of their small apartment. Jamal's mother, still tying her work apron, opened it to find a tall man in a tailored suit, his car parked sleek and shiny by the curb. His presence seemed out of place in their worn-down neighborhood. "Good morning," the man said with a warm smile. "I'm looking for Jamal." Jamal appeared, cautious. "That's me." The man extended his hand. "My name is Charles Davenport. I believe we met a broken bar yesterday." Jamal frowned, unsure. Charles continued, "That elderly couple you faded, they're my parents." Jamal froze. The man's eyes softened. They didn't forget their wallet. They were testing kindness. "You see, my father a broken bar. He likes to know if there are still good hearts left in this world. And you, Sona, you gave up your only meal for them." Jamal's mother covered her mouth in shock. Charles went on. "I run a foundation that supports young people with potential, those who show not just intelligence, but character. Jamal, I want to offer you a scholarship, a mentorship, and support for your family. But more than that, let's change this neighborhood together. I've seen enough talent and resilience here to build something great." Tears stung Jamal's eyes. His mother broke down in gratitude, whispering prayers under her breath. The weeks that followed were like a dream. Charles invested in their community, opening a youth center where kids could learn skills, get tutoring, and eat free meals. Jamal became the first student leader, helping organize programs and encouraging others never to lose hope. His mother no longer had to work double shifts. Their home, once heavy with silence and worry, now echoed with laughter and possibility. But Jamal never let success swell his head. He remembered the hunger, the sacrifice, the choice to give when he had nothing. He often told the kids at the center, "It's not about how much you have, it's about what you're willing to give. Kindness is never wasted. Sometimes, it comes back to you in ways bigger than you could ever imagine." Years later, Jamal stood on a stage, graduating college as the first in his family. Charles sat proudly in the front row, his parents by his side. When Jamal delivered his speech, his voice shook with emotion. "One plate of food. That's what it cost me. But it gave me a future. If you ever have the chance to help someone, no matter how small, take it. Because the smallest act of kindness can unlock the biggest miracle." The crowd erupted in applause. Jamal's story had become more than his own. It was a reminder that even in the darkest hunger, hope can be fed with love, and that sometimes, the simplest sacrifice can transform an entire community. By the end, Jamal wasn't just a boy who gave up his meal. He was a man who gave the world a reason to believe in kindness again.